It's a Pred lobby. And I'm quite fortunate here. A Pred and a Masters in this type of lobby. Surely they'd carry me, right? Anyways, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a Pred lobby, well, the Pred Diamond Master, whatever, doesn't really matter. We got fortunate with our teammates here getting a Pred and a Master, even though they die in the very first fight they go to pushing without any pings. This is why I say, people, if you're going to move somewhere, ping. I have no idea what's going on. There might be some tension already with the Wraith. No idea what she's waffling about. Doesn't really matter. I'm playing Octane here simply because I'm able to disengage from fights easily or run into fights very easily, and you will see how he proves to be quite useful soon. So I loot up and I see them running off, so obviously I have to catch up to them because I was not aware at all that they were running off. I was quite slow with my looting this time simply because I just couldn't find the guns I wanted and the heavy arsenal was contested. They push a fight, Maggie gets one, Wraith probably did some damage, but they both go down. And since it's a 1v2 where they can get an easy res as well, I'm just going to run away and craft. It's just the easiest thing to do. And with Octane, you see, I'm just out of there. I'm out of there immediately. Going straight down to Grow Towers to get the crafter and to res the teammates. So hitting the res, it's now just important just to let your teammates loot up as they can. I'm pretty sure no one landed Grow Towers. I didn't see on the map. But either way, it was a nice little easy res. I'm just trying to open up loot boxes, get what I want, and also help out teammates to get any attachments if they need it. Nothing really happens until this evac is dropped, which just immediately pulls us into another fight. I want to reposition myself slightly on this area up here, simply because I don't know where they're landing and I have height. Mad Maggie goes down immediately, so it just leaves us in a 2v3. I just want to deal some damage so I can buy me and Wraith some time to maybe find another position. After I shot, I immediately re-angled myself, which is really important. Because of this Rev chasing me, he couldn't find me, and so I was able to get a quick and easy knock on him, leaving us in a 2v2. Since this Newcastle was going to go for a res, I decided to go push him immediately whilst Ralph went for Catalyst. And because of this grenade here, this allowed me to get the re-knock on the Revenant and deal some good damage to the Newcastle, which gets 2 knocks. Now it's just a 1v1. Here, Catalyst has overflow amp, and because of me breaching this wall and getting some shots, I cancelled her overhealing, and she doesn't really have time to go do an armor swap. So now it's just really finishing up the fight. It is quite wonky, but still we get the 1v3, which saves the teammates' RP. So finding a Moby in Catalyst death box with Octane's stim, which is quite new as well, like the new little upgrade that had to his ability. It was not really like a perk or something. I'm able to heal whilst holding the res, which is just quite good, so I don't waste time healing myself. And then now we just have to go back into zone. So after we rotate away, a good tip is to keep an eye on your inventory, simply because you can manage the ammo that you need or manage any heals you need. I have infinite bats, so I just decided to drop all of those bats for teammates just in case they need any. I love Apex is running into positions, especially in higher ranked games. We don't really have the best because we have we have 2 skirmishers and an assault, so we can't exactly see where the next zone is. We can't exactly fly over with the Valk, for example. We can only run or portal thanks to Octane's pads or Wraith's portal. And yeah, as you can see, the Wraith is chatting a lot of shit, but the Wraith was really happy about that clutch. But see, Maggie got a really good quick knock here, which I wasn't even aware of because I was just too busy doing my own thing. And now that we push up into this fight, since we got 1 knock, it's always good to be aggro after playing 1 knock. Bangalore drops her ult, and Maggie gets knocked because she tries to do a finisher. I fuck up both my pad placements because I wanted to dip away from this, but they decide to res instead. So I'm just holding off here. Bangalore was playing this pretty good, but she peaked way too early because I was still holding that angle. So it allowed us to get 2 knocks easily onto this team. And now we're just about finishing it with the altar portal. We have to wait a bit. I go first in simply because I have more armor, so I can soak up more shots. I didn't know who their third was, but it doesn't really matter because we get a re-knock on Bangalore, and it turned out that the third was a Mirage who gets away, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Mirage got away, so we just rotated back into zone. There is a lot of fighting here. So I don't want to go like try push into a fight because that would just invite a lot of third parties to happen. That Horizon I got some damage on, she was just a solo, doesn't really matter. But it's like more about the part here where you're on the edge of zone of round 3. Like the zone still is not doing a lot of damage. It's only when round 3 begins that's when you should be worried about zone. So these people can stay in zone and they can keep healing, and we can keep just sitting out here just trying to fight them to make sure they don't, you know, get into zone and maybe try waste their heals. See, the thing is here though, I'm not too sure what the greatest plan would be. Like obviously I want to rotate into zone, but you know, I have to also make sure that, you know, we just all don't die. So I'm just making sure, I'm just checking Rave's back just to make sure like she's good and she's not trying to get herself into anything, you know, that would kill her. But regardless of this, there's not too much action going here. But even in the parts where I don't do a lot here, the Maggie always finds a way to do something. So it's the third zone. I'm trying to find like a good position. I'm just looking out. I heard footsteps behind me. That's why I peeked. Only to get bamboozled. And then there's another team behind me. And, you know, there Maggie is. She's already there assisting me, buying me time to run away and to heal up. And now it's just like an agreed thing just to start moving to zone between me and all the teammates. So now that the zone's closed, there's going to be a bunch of fighting all about. That Octane was 1 HP from his previous fight, so obviously I'm going to push into that to try and finish off that team. Getting the easy knock, and then Bangalore comes in. The Hemlock Breacher does, like, a little breach grenade that comes from it, does not clear smoke, so just don't forget that. So Mad Maggie gets the re-knock again, she gets the Bangalore to 1 HP, I'll just finish her off. And then this is when we're shotting the team from our back. We don't want to fight up here too long, simply because there's just no cover for us. But I keep staying up here and trying to like dish out damage just to kind of distract them and force them off. Because our Mad Maggie is healing. She's at 1 HP. I don't know how she did not die all my days. And it's just now better, yeah, just to find a better positioning into the zone. Especially when that team above us who were just fighting, they had a Gibby. So he can just throw down a bubble shield whenever he gets it, whenever he wants. So it's not too great to keep staying up there. This is some good pinging from Maggie. I look her up at it and yeah, I don't know what she wants, so we push up there together and she gets just the easy knock on the altar that was set up there. Of course, I'm trying to get the finish or trying to get the finish because it's just better now to finish, especially in this type of zone, because you don't know what other people are playing. They could have like a support character, like a Mirage, a Lifeline, so they'll just be able to reset easily. But you can just tell, like, slowly as, like, the game continues, like, the difference between Apex, Predator, and just, you know, the rest of us, basically. Now, this is the part where Apex becomes, like, quite more of a running simulator, running to cover and everything. It all depends on your play style, but as you're solo queuing, you're going to have a lot of times where you're just trying to run, you're trying to fight off teams and trying to get your own position into the zone. You also have to support your teammates as much as you can. It doesn't really matter. Like Wraith pinged here that there was someone here, so I'm just running up with her, you know, just to make sure, because I have no idea. It could be a full trio, it could just be a solo. It's a solo Mirage though, and I don't know who was the real one, but Wraith did, so easy knock on hard. Shame I got no assist from that, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I'm still earning quite a good amount of RP in the top 5 situation. So here I'm just playing around with teammates. Doesn't really matter what we're doing at the moment because we're not doing anything too major. I decide I'm just going to trade with other teams just to deal some damage, get them off our backs so they have to go back and heal. I have infinite bats as well. Even though I could have been using bats to heal, I just decided to use shield cells simply because it's quicker and I can go straight into fighting with my teammates. They decide to push into building onto our right, and that's actually quite a good play, especially if we win the fight, simply because that would just give us a better defensive position. So we run in, we get quite a nice 2v1 on this Octane. Gibby throws his shield up, so I take the stun damage for it because I can. I would just try to knock them, obviously, but did a lot of damage, so it doesn't really matter. Teammates were able to get me finish. And I shield swap quickly, which saves me from getting knocked from the other team's Mad Maggie's Wrecking Ball. And to be honest, I don't want to keep running with RE45. Despite how much of a good gun it is, R99 is simply just the best SMG for controller players. So I'm just like looking for boxes, looking to see like what can I replace, and I needed more heavy ammo. And seeing that there was a R99, I just decided to take it. That's mine now. Taking double SMG simply because it's just gonna be a close fight. It's probably just better to keep it RE45. And now it's just a matter of fact of finishing off this game. So Wraith goes down, unfortunately. Maggie is healing inside. I'm just holding other positions because I don't know where the team could push from. And here we're just holding them off. I don't know what exactly to do. I'm just holding an angle. I'm letting the Wraith fall over to me so I can hit a res. But this is why I say there's a big difference between Pred and Masters. As I'm popping off this res, Maggie by herself is getting knocks and doing basically all the damage to this other team, which I believe is a duo. So yeah, simply like that, we get an easy win. Maggie did do a lot of work. She definitely paid back for her first couple of knocks in the beginning of the game. But hey, I saved it and we got the win. I'm not complaining. Yeah, quite the difference. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed a thing or two. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.